Steve Simmons along with Rob Longley here at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto. On Saturday afternoon, the World Cup of Hockey finally begins in earnest. There's a lot that we're going to find out over the next week or so about Team Canada and about other teams in the tournament. What are you looking forward to seeing the most?
Well, two things. Of course, you want to see how Team Canada plays in a different format from the Olympics. I think, Steve, you and I were in Sochi where they basically just methodically ground away wins and didn't really worry about offense. I think we're going to see a different style of Team Canada here. The team I'm really, like most people, curious to see is how Team North America does, and specifically for people in Toronto, Austin Matthews, who we've seen go from basically a 12th or 13th winger at the start of this thing to a first, second line guy who played 17 minutes in his last exhibition game. He's going to make his Air Canada Centre debut on Sunday night, and I think there's going to be a lot of excitement surrounding that.
Well, today was media day here at the ACC for the tournament, and in doing so, we got to speak to so many different people from so many different teams. And talking to Todd McClellan, the coach of the North American team, he talked about how Austin Matthews began at the beginning of camp as way down his list and kept moving up and moving up and moving up, and it's like now, you know, every single game, every single shift, every single period, he seems to get better. There's going to be an excitement here for Maple Leaf fans in watching him, just as I think there's going to be excitement for Edmonton Oilers fans watching Connor McDavid in his second, first time going through in this format, second season coming up in the NHL.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us would like to see it. Now, we still need some things to happen to make it happen, and that would be Team North America playing Team Canada in a playoff game, because, who would you cheer for if you're a Maple Leafs fan? Obviously, people in Canada are going to cheer for Canada, but across the country, you're going to cheer for a lot of these other guys like Morgan Riley and Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid. And I think if the tournament works out that way, it would be great to see those two teams face off in the playoff round of the tournament.
Well, I hope we see the dramatic kind of hockey that we've seen in the past in these kind of tournaments. Although this is a little different to me, because in the past, we didn't know always who the Russians were. We didn't know who the Czechs were. We didn't know who all these players were. We know everybody here. This is an NHL House League tournament, almost set up for Canada to win. Canada has the best roster and the deepest roster, and it should win. But then you got to you got to win those crossover playoff games and get through and do all you're supposed to do. But I think it's interesting to me is Carey Price. He's coming back after not missing most of last season. He was the best player in the NHL 2 years ago. Can he be that guy again this soon?
Yeah, I think that's probably the great unknown for Canada, but we'll start to find out on Saturday night. For Steve Simmons, I'm Rob Longley for Post Media here at the Air Canada Centre.